Welcome to Bespoke Diaries. Today's article is on Being Honest by Christopher Kloeble, author, Germany. People sometimes ask him, "Why do you write?" The short answer to this is simple: because he wants to be loved. That sounds good, doesn't it? That sounds honest. But, as far as he can tell, writers aren't loved that much. There will always be more people around that hate their writing, and them, than supporters. If writers do what they do only because they want to be loved, then someone should tell them that there are hundreds of thousands of better possibilities to achieve this. There must be more about writing. When he was a young boy, he once saw his mother making notes while she was talking on the phone. He had witnessed this before. But this time was different. He envied her. He wanted to be able to do that, too, taking a pen, moving it over the paper and drawing something that looked like a picture without being one. In the following weeks, he filled endless pages scribbling. He painted signs that no one could read. Not even him. But it felt like writing. It felt important. In elementary school, when he was able to read and write a bit, he found happiness in lists. He wasn't much into books. He lacked focus on literature, and he rarely ever made it to the end of a story. He preferred comics. His parents supported that kind of hobby, hoping he would sooner or later lose interest in it and grab a book by himself. Plus, at least he was reading text bubbles. These comics were the first things he listed and were the only thing he wrote besides what he had to write in school. He remembers this deeply satisfying feeling. The fact that he was writing was important, but what he was writing was not. Soon he listed other things as well. Everything was put to paper: collection albums, Commodore games, and stuff, including 29 mini divers, 1 water necklace, 6 mini transportation machines, and 3 Batman cards. Even the ingredients of canned soups. Everything needed to be listed. Sometimes in capital letters, sometimes in red, sometimes with highlighters, sometimes on sticky notes, sometimes underlined, sometimes copied. Finally, he drew a map of his room and marked with arrows where everything was, which posters were hanging on the walls, and also, where he kept the lists that listed all that. Once he had listed everything he could think of, he looked for a new task. He started taking notes about his classmates. He divided them into 2 obvious groups, boys and girls. On the far left he wrote down her or his name, next to their grade for friendliness, and after that, the grade for evilness, and finally the overall grade, which could go from super good, A, to alright, C, all the way to yuck, terrible, F. Some of the grades he crossed out. This was because sometimes classmates who weren't content with their grades would beg him to give them a better ones. Usually, he gave in, if they begged long enough. Additionally, he listed the phone numbers of his classmates and demanded them to sign his list. Only very few were okay with that. To convince them, he wrote on the bottom of the page, "Everyone who signs correctly will get something sometime, and everyone who doesn't won't get anything." And still, he was thrilled by writing. It was everything to him. He created his own magazine. The first issue was titled, "The Nutty One." Above that, it said, "Everything inside is superb." But once again he was only attracted by the act of writing. He stole most of the content. A satirical text from Mad Magazine and riddles of Mickey Mouse Magazine, walkthroughs for Zelda from the Nintendo Club Magazine. He copied the self-made pages in his father's office and sold them at school for an impressive 5 Deutschmarks. Every magazine in the supermarket would have cost half the price. His classmates didn't mind. Motivated by their interest, he produced additional issues. And added a new title, Naughty, which doesn't mean anything in German either. He remembers only trying to employ a word he has never heard before. He wanted to be original, that's how he continued. He wrote to write. He believes there's an archivist in every writer. When he writes, he lists ideas and memories and things he has observed in his head, chooses only a few of them and puts them together on paper. Of course, he also wants to tell a story and not only fill blank pages. But honestly, what really keeps him going is the deep desire to put one word after the other. Maybe he thinks much longer about what word that might be, but in the end, he is still writing lists. And he does it out of a simple urge, because he needs to. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Do leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For similar type of article, please reach us at contact@thebespokediaries.com, or you can visit our website www.thebespokediaries.com.